Welcome into another edition of the In the Money podcast for KeenelandSelect.com. I'm Tom Leach, along with Jim Goodman, Keeneland's Director of Mutuals and Simulcasting, as we take a look at the Saturday card at Oaklawn, headlined by a Grade 2 Kentucky Derby prep. And there's also a pick 4 that we will touch on, but we'll start with the first graded stakes race of the day, Jim, and that is in the 7th race. It's for fillies and mares, 4 and up, going a mile in the 16th, named for Azeri, the Grade 2 Azeri. And I thought the favorite here is probably going to be hard to beat. Who did you land on?
Yeah, I was hoping when we picked this race out early in the week that to focus on today it would be a bigger field. But Terra Promessa is 5 for 5 at Oaklawn for Asmussen, and Irad Ortiz comes in to ride. She's going to be hard to beat. The only horse that I thought in here that had a shot, she's already beaten pretty much everybody in here. Miss Mo Kelly, the one, had a great work on March the 11th, so she may be ready to step up, but she hasn't been able to beat Terra Promessa before. I think Asking for Money is the alternative here simply because she hasn't run at Oaklawn. She's kind of an unknown quantity, but she has run against classy fillies. And she comes there off a tune-up at Gulfstream when she didn't run very well, got beat by Curlin's Approval. But I think she's got a shot in here. But Terra Promessa looks like she's going to be 3 to 5 and probably worth it. This race is, I'm sure it didn't come up as tough as they hoped it had. But Terra Promessa is fun to watch. She's 5 for 5 at Oaklawn.
Yeah, I couldn't get past her either. I think the drawn down of the 2-hole has the ability to control this with her speed from start to finish, and I couldn't I tried, but I couldn't find anybody else I could go for. So I'm going to take Terra Promessa. I'm going to use her with Asking for Money, Tiger Moth, and Power of Sunner. So it'll be 6-3-5 in exactas. The 8th race starts the pick 4, which we'll get to in a minute, but it is the Essex Handicap. And I ended up going for More Spirit here for Bob Baffert. He's always dangerous coming in from the West Coast. And this horse had his first 2 starts off the layoff this year. You remember he ran in the Derby last year and then I think got hurt. First 2 starts off the layoff have been career best, and now it's the 3rd start off the layoff, which is often the horse's best race. So More Spirit for me, I like a lot here. Shotgun Cowboy, Dazzling Jim, Made from Lucky are the ones that I'll use with him in the Essex. How about you?
Yeah, I think we're on the same page here. I think More Spirit's gotten better as a 4-year-old. They laid him off after the Derby. He obviously wasn't quite that caliber, but he did run second in the Santa Anita Derby last year at Exaggerator. So he's got a lot of back class, and Baffert doesn't bring him here for fun. So I think More Spirit is a good bet here. I think my second choice would probably be Dazzling Jim simply because of the home court advantage, 2 for 3 at Oaklawn. Shotgun Cowboys in his 3rd race of his cycle, the 1 horse, and if he improves on the buyer scale, he could be right there. And he's also 2 for 3 at Oaklawn. So you got a couple of home court horses that might challenge More Spirit, but More Spirit is probably my choice in the Essex Handicap.
The other graded stake is the 10th race. It's the Grade 2 Rebel for 3-year-olds at a mile at a 16th. And looks like a lot of speed in here. Where did you land?
I landed with a horse that ran second in the Southwest to one liner who was very impressive that day for Pletcher, Ron Moquette's Petrov. And I love the buyer progression from 76 to 81 to 86 to 96, exactly where you need to be this time of year. And, excuse me, I thought he ran a great race and just got beat by a really, really top-notch horse. So I think if he takes a step forward here, he's going to be tough to handle. But there's a lot of other possibilities here, including a horse that I've got at 85 to 1 in the future book out at Vegas, Royal Mo. I bet him before the R.B. Lewis and got 85 to 1. He was very impressive there. Probably need the lead type, and he's on the outside, so Espinosa's probably going to send him from there, see how long he can hang on. American Anthem for Baffert obviously is right there, but the race that he's coming out of, the Sham, Gormley won that race, and he didn't come back and run very well last weekend at Santa Anita, so I think that effort did not get flattered. Uncontested, if you throw out the Southwest and bank on his Smarty Jones race at Oaklawn, he's going to be right there, and Catalano says he came out of Southwest well, so that's where I'm focusing on my exactas and trifectas. And the horse called Malagasy for Todd Pletcher is 2 for 2, and they put this horse, they almost put it in a maiden claimer at Gulfstream, and it got washed off, or it was a sloppy track. They scratched it out for some reason. He brought it back, and it's working well, and ran him a maiden special weight. Horse is probably worth $1 million now, but they gave $190 for him. So a stroke of luck that they didn't get him claimed for 75,000, and he's won by 15 and by 7, so he could be right there. Great race. The Rebel's obviously going to give you some Derby contenders. There are Derby points to be awarded here, but Petrov is my choice in the Rebel.
That's who I went to as well. It's surprising in a wide open group. We landed on the same one, but I like the improvement last time, and I thought maybe the jock moved a little prematurely, and then one liner swept on by, but Petrov was still more than 8 lengths ahead of the third place horse. A couple of really sharp works since then. Jose Ortiz is riding so well these days that I have to think he gets options and certainly could stay in South Florida and have a big day most days, and he chooses to stick with Petrov here. So I like that. Almost went to uncontested. I read somewhere that they think maybe the horse flipped its soft palate last time, and that'll cause horses to quit suddenly like he did. So I think he is very dangerous in here because I love the previous race. But there's so much speed that I ended up leaning to Petrov instead. American Anthem, Royal Mo, like both of those. If I went one more, I'd use the Pletcher horse. But I'm going to use Petrov to win the Rebel. And I'm going to go 5 deep, actually, in the pick 4. So we'll switch to the pick 4. There are allowance races on either side of the Rebel. I'm going to start my pick 4 with singling More Spirit in the Essex. Not that I think he's that much of a cinch, but I couldn't narrow the ticket down in the other races to any degree. So to keep it affordable, I'm going to single More Spirit. I'm going to use Misoma, Manhattan Mischief, Ray's Warrior, and Luna de Loco, 7129 in the 9th. In the Rebel, I'm going to use all 5 horses that I mentioned, starting with Petrov, and then in the 11th, 8, 9, 2, 11, 12. Sumter's the horse that I like best of those, but in that order, 8, 9, 2, 11, 12. So 2 by 4 by 5 by 5 for me. How about you?
I'm going to give you a couple of options. I've got an $80 ticket picked out, and I'm going to give you an option to cut it to 40, or I'm going to give you an option to take out some horses in the last leg. So first leg, I'm pretty set on. I'm going to go 4 deep. I like More Spirit, but I don't feel good about singling him in the Essex. So I got 1, 2, 3, 8, Shotgun Cowboy, More Spirit, Dazzling Gem, and Made from Lucky. Then in the second race, if you like the horse that I like, Manhattan Mischief from the inside, and you think that Santana can get the lead and take him wire to wire, I could single Manhattan Mischief in the allowance race. But to cover, there's a horse called Bolt Hall on the outside for Federico Villafranco, who's really tough and had a tough out last time out, just a bad trip, and I think the 10 also has a shot. So either single the 1 or using my $80 ticket, I would use both the 1 and the 10. And I would go 5 deep as well in the Rebel with the 2, 4, 6, 7, 10. Uncontested, Petrov, Malagasy, American Anthem, and Royal Mo. And then in the last leg, I've got 4 horses. Hour Track, the 2, Dan, the go-to man, the 3, the 10-horse Swarm, and my top choice, the 11-horse Big Red Rocket. And that would be, I'm sorry, not the 10, the 12-horse Leo Frick. So 11, 12, I'll go 2, 3, 11, 12 there. But Big Red Rocket is my top choice there. He's put together 4 good races in a row, including a pretty impressive maiden special weight win last time out with a great work since then. So 1, 2, 3, 8 with 1, 10, with 2, 4, 6, 7, 10, with 2, 3, 11, 12. And you could single the 11 in the last leg if you want to cut that ticket way down to like $20.
One other race we want to look at is the Grade 1 Santa Margarita at Santa Anita for fillies and mares 4 and up. It's the 9th race on their card. Valedore is a big favorite in there. By the way, I get to crow about picking Bala Bali last week at a $20 horse.
Oh, yeah.
But Masochistic couldn't hang on and win. I would have had the pick 4, but nice win. I'll take kudo for Bala Bali at a nice price. I actually
ran well, yeah.
Wagered that on that one myself, so that was a good one. Let's get to the Santa Anita race. Who do you like in the Santa Margarita? Can you beat the favorite?
Well, it's hard not to like Valedore. Yeah, I mean, she's going to be a big favorite. She's going for 5 in a row, and 4 of them have been graded stakes. Finest City is the champion female sprinter from last year, and stretching out to 1.8 miles for the first time. She did win at 7 furlongs, so she's stretched out a little bit. 1.8 miles might be too much to ask, but she's got a lot of speed and she's a lot of class. If you're looking for a price, Estrashada, the 8. None of these horses have been 1.8 miles, and she's been 1.8 miles a lot in Argentina and gone 1.5 miles, so it may be too short for her. But she's certainly going to get the distance. She put up a 92 buyer last time out, and might be overlooked in the wagering here. Valladori and Finest City are going to get all the wagering. Valladori is a logical choice, but in my trifectas, I'm going to throw the 8 in there with a little bit of savor.
I'm going to probably definitely going against better judgment in trying to beat Valladori with Show Stealer. The thing I like about this, going to a mile and 1/8, I think helps, but the bigger thing I like is the switch to Desormo. I think that's going to be a good fit for this horse. So I'm going to try Show Stealer to upset Valladori. Finest City I'll also use. Not sure about the distance for her. And then Autumn Flowers, another one I like a little bit. So Show Stealer is going to be my key horse, and play a bigger exacta with her in the favorite, and then Lester with the other two. Best of luck with your Saturday wagers on the road to the Kentucky Derby and all the NCAA tournament action to mix in with horse racing this weekend. Fun weekend. Enjoy it. Good luck. And we'll be back next week, Dubai World Cup Day, for another edition of the In the Money podcast on KeenelandSelect.com.